Let me know if this you can hear me okay. I'm trying this microphone. I just got this microphone. Hello, looks like somebody jumped online. Not sure who it is. Oh, there they go. See ya. Oh, they're back. Whoever it is jumped off and jumped back. Let me know if my internet is coming out okay. I'm on Wi-Fi, but it's not the strongest, so I can jump on cell if it's better. So just let me know. Also, let me know if this microphone is coming out okay. But I can jump on Wi-Fi, which is just a little weak. But I can jump on it if it's better. And hello to the two people online. Hey, from Orlando. Oh, sweet. I used to, well, I never lived in Orlando. I've been to Orlando lots of times, mostly for the parks. But I've been. Oh, perfect. Yes, I also sound like I'm screaming all of a sudden. I've been to Orlando several times, actually. Yeah, mostly for the parks, but occasionally to go. I don't know, just do something else around the area. I went to what's that? The Gaylord Palms Resort in the ice sculpture thing during Christmas. That was really cool. Hey, hi. Yeah, fist bump for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that thing was really impressive. And if you're not from Orlando, and I don't know if the Gaylord Palms is a like nationwide resort chain or not, but there's a person on here that said they're from Orlando. I've seen your car in Utah leaving a hotel. Okay, that must have been a little while back. Last time I was in Utah was a month ago or so. But yeah, I'm from. Sorry, I'm not from Orlando, but someone here said they're from Orlando, and earlier I was talking about going to an ice sculpture thing, and every year they put on this massive ice sculpture thing during Christmas, and it's really, really cool. It's last year's theme, or the year I went, this theme was the Peanuts. So they had all the characters from the Peanuts made out of ice, and the entire event is 9 degrees inside. It's very cold. I am not in Orlando. That is whoever was talking is in Orlando. Hey guys, can you say hi to me, please? Hi, AJ. How's it going? Yes. Hello to everyone who's jumping on. Great. I'm really glad that everybody was able to jump on. And let me know if the internet connection is okay. I'm on cell network, but I can jump on Wi-Fi if it's not that great. Mississippi. Oh, yeah. Have you seen Elon Musk this morning in Costco? I did not see Elon Musk in Costco. Is Elon Musk? I'm in Arizona. I don't like to disclose my personal location just for safety reasons, but I'm in Arizona. I don't know that Elon Musk is anywhere near here. Can you see how to? Yes. Hi, AJ. Did you see the Bronco? Did you see a Bronco passing by you? I don't know that I remember seeing a Bronco pass by me. Someone asked if there was a Bronco pass by me. How much days you go camping in a month? Okay, well, that's kind of a loaded question because someone asked me how many days I go camping in a month. Technically, I camp every single night of the month. Technically, since I live out of my car. But if you're talking about like established campgrounds, like something you would pay for, something that gives you, an actual designated spot, has restrooms, maybe water and stuff like that, I don't never do that. It's not my thing. It's It's not really my thing. It costs money every night. You're looking at a minimum 30. Most places have gone up to 35 to 45 a night, and I just can't do that nightly. It just adds up really quickly. I don't like established campgrounds, second off, because A, they're not going to give me anything I need. So I'm self-contained. I have water, I have power, I have food, I have everything that I need. Aside from maybe a shower that some campsites do and some campsites don't have, I don't really do campgrounds. I don't like them. I did talk to some people when I was at the RTR, I guess a week and a half ago now, that said that they do established campgrounds like maybe once a month or once every couple weeks or whatever, just to kind of reset their clock. It gives them a way to recharge batteries, like my Anchor portable power station just right over my shoulder, Jackery portable power stations. They get a chance to get clean water from the drinking fountains there. They allow them to, some campgrounds do laundry, shower, stuff like that. I just personally don't find the need in any of those things. I go to a national gym chain like Planet Fitness to do my showers, or I find showers at YMCA's and things like that. Oh, cool. David met me in Quartzsite. Yeah, good luck on your ventures. Hope to meet you down the road. Perfect. Yeah. I met a lot of people in Quartzsite. You'll have to remind me which one it was when we met. But yes, at Quartzsite was a really great time. And met lots and lots of great people. Oh, someone said the internet goes in and out. I can jump on Wi-Fi. Let me know if the internet continues to go in and out. I'll try to get on Wi-Fi. I'm just a little far from the Wi-Fi that I'm on right now, so it's not the strongest. So I thought cell network might be a little bit better, but I can try the cell network again. But yeah, the campground thing, yeah, I just don't go to them that much. But like I said, a lot of people find a lot of good resources at a campground. Like I said, just being able to recharge the batteries, get showers. It's obviously a very, very, very safe place to sleep. And that can be really important, right? If you're in an area where you just don't think you're going to find a safe place to sleep, some place that you're not going to get what's called the knock, someone tapping on your window at 3 a.m. telling you to move along. I can see staying at a campground for sure. What kind of power station do I use? That's a great question. And I had the Anchor Solix C1000. And it's, for my dollar, I think they're around $500, give or take. Could be up a little bit higher than that. And that's a nearly 2,000 watt inverter. It's 1,800 watts. So, hang on, I'm going to roll up my window real quick. There's some neighbors next to me that are a little loud. Sorry. So the power station I have is the Solix, Anchor Solix C1000. Like I said, I think it's $100 right now. And I love it. It's perfect. I guess my only complaint is if I had to do it over again is I'd probably get a little bit larger one, like around 3,000 watts, because when my fridge is plugged into it all day long, it kills the battery in about a day and a half if I'm not able to recharge the battery somehow via solar, plug the Anchor into the wall, into a 110 in an outlet somewhere in a house. I charge it that way the most. Or while I'm driving, the car, the 12 volt in the car will recharge the Anchor portable power station that way. So if I'm not able to do one of those three things in about roughly a day and a half, and I have to plug up the fridge to the battery the entire time, then sorry, there's some neighbors next to me and they're being a little loud. So then if I am not able to plug the Anchor up to one of those three things to charge in about a day and a half, and like I said, have to plug up the fridge, then the battery will go drain in about a day and a half just using the fridge. But luckily, one of the nice things about the wintertime is that it's been cold enough at night, most nights, that I can unplug the fridge from the battery, from the Anchor, and my food stays cold all night. During the summertime, quite a different story. I left that fridge plugged up all the time, pretty much. So, don't really like being around, don't really like being away. Art said, don't really like being away around people. Do you mean you don't really like being with people? Some people is fun, but a lot of people I don't. It's not my jam. I get a little anxiety nowadays when I'm around a lot of people. Do you have a home base, and also what is your monthly budget? What does it cost for you to be out? Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, this is a really great question. I'm going to reread the question so everybody sees it. Do you have a home base, and also what is your monthly budget? what does it cost for you to be out? My home base is Florida. I have a storage unit back home. Florida is what I call home. I have family, I have friends, and I have stuff all back in Florida. Not that I don't have friends around the country. I'm staying with a friend right now. But like I said, I do have some things in storage back there. So my home base is Florida. However, Florida is very, very far away from where I'm at right now. I'm currently in Arizona, and I have not a lot of need to go back there unless to see family. And there's nothing in storage that I need. I kept the things in storage intentionally because they more have sentimental value. They weren't things I could really part with personally, but they're also not things I need on a daily basis. I also have some things like suits. Suits and things like that. Some nice clothes that I just did not need in my car. So I do have those kind of things. My monthly budget is about $1,500 a month, personally. That's what I need for food, gas, activities, monthly bills, cell phone, all that good stuff. So my monthly budget is about $1,500 a month. That gives or takes a little bit, but $1,500 is pretty good. I did a monthly budget breakdown. I'll actually, if I think about it, I'll put it in the description of this video once I'm done recording, which, by the way, I'm going to try to do this for about an hour till about 3 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's about 50 minutes from now. I do have some other things I have planned for the day that I want to do before the sun goes down. So we'll do this till about 3 o'clock. But if I think about it, I put in the description of a video I did about a year ago. And it was a monthly breakdown of what it was for me cost-wise while I lived in my teardrop trailer traveling the country for a year. And that came to about $2,000 a month. Yes, it came out to about $2,000, just over $2,000. So it was a little bit more. What? Oh my God, someone just gave me, oh wow, thank you so much, MF Hairstream. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Huge. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That is, a donation like that is, I'm blown away. Thank you so much. Just having you guys be here and listen to me ramble is enough. But thank you. That is super helpful. MF Hairstream, thank you so much. And I guess I'll go back to my monthly budget. $1,500 a month. Again, food, gas, everything. But I should really do. I've had a lot of questions on that. So it's on my list of videos. I'm starting to grow a list of videos about this long. It just keeps longer every day of things that a lot of you guys are asking about. So monthly budget is one of them. I'll start doing that a little bit more. And another person asked, what car am I driving? I drive a 2020 Subaru Forester, and this was out before. This is the sport trim. I don't think the trim really matters. It's just the Forester. And this was before the Wilderness models. So a lot of people always ask, is it a Wilderness? It's not. Unfortunately, those came out about 6 months after I bought this car. That you were from Florida. I thought I saw you. And someone said, I thought you were from Florida. I saw that you wanted your first video. Oh, someone from England. Wow. Hi from England. Hamza. Nice. And I think I've caught up on questions now. Hello, Eric. Leaving Tampa Bay area beginning of March. I'm in a teardrop. Oh, wow. That's cool. Glenn's Teardrop of Jumpsters. Oh, cool. Yeah, what kind of teardrop do you have, Glenn? That's funny. I absolutely used to live in Tampa, at the Tampa Bay area. Tampa, well, I was in Tampa, just up the street from MacDill Air Force Base. If you're familiar with that area, I'm sure you are if you're in Tampa Bay. And that's where I left Tampa in my teardrop. So that's really cool. Yo, it's Forrest from upstate. Oh, dude, Forrest, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, so Forrest from upstate. We met at the library and got a beer with you at the bar. And shoot over your fruit stand. Oh, yeah, and shoot. Yeah. We both worked at Apple. This gentleman that's on the line now, Hiking Forrest. We both got to talking. I was at a library in just outside the Adirondacks, if I'm not mistaken. What was the name of that town? Clinton? Was it Clinton? Something like that. And yeah, this guy comes up to me and we start talking, and turns out we both worked at Apple. So yeah, I'd had to do some work that day, but we ended up grabbing a beer afterwards and talking about the fruit stand, which is the terminology a lot of us used when we worked at Apple. Yes, perfect. Spring Hill. Okay. I didn't really go up to Spring Hill. The person with the teardrop said they're up in Spring Hill. I didn't go up to Spring Hill. a lot, but I think I drove through it. But Clinton, yes, nailed it. Yeah, perfect. I thought it was. I don't know. You know why? I always have to make connections in my brain of things I know I remember. So for some reason, Clinton, I just associated like Bill Clinton or something like that. Like I just the Clinton last name. I don't know why. I don't even think they're from there or anything, or they've ever been there in former life. But that's how I formed the connection. Don't ask me why. But thanks, bud. Yeah. Utah. Hey, Teresa, how's it going? Yes, Utah. Yes, what part of Utah, Teresa? Because Utah is such a gorgeous state. It is one of my favorite states. Arizona, Utah. I've been more in southern Utah, but I have been in northern Utah. I've been through Salt Lake City and Antelope Island, which was a really cool place, and the Salt Flats, Bonneville. But I don't think that's was that Utah or is that technically Nevada? They're like it's right on the border, I think. But yeah, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, just the what's the word I'm looking for? Out west, just being in the west, just really Salt Lake, Sandy area. Thanks. Yes, Salt Lake was gorgeous. Lots of hikes to do in Salt Lake. I didn't know anything about Salt Lake before I got there. I haven't been there in about, gosh, 2.5, 3 years ago. I'm gonna say 2.5 years ago. But there's lots of hikes. I got tires for my car there at the oldest Subaru dealership. And they claim to be the oldest Subaru dealership in America. So that's where I got my tires, Salt Lake City. So yeah, I had a question for you guys, and that was what kind of content going forward are people kind of interested in? And I got some really good feedback just before even jumping on this live stream, which is one person said they really would like to see me kind of do more of a day-to-day, kind of like what do my logistics look like day-to-day. So how to find a place to sleep, how to find places to work, how to find water, all that kind of stuff. So I can definitely do that more in my videos if you guys like that. If you find that helpful. I think that actually probably would be helpful to give a little more insight. I'll say that right now, I pretty much use iOverlander. It's a free app. If you're not familiar with it, I can talk about it a little bit here if you like. But I use that. It's like my Bible out here. I use it daily to find places to sleep, water, propane, refill ups. If I need to do that, I only need to do that like once every 2 months. Showers, laundry. iOverlander is practically an essential app. Like you can do it without using it, but I don't know why. It's a free app. So I don't know why you would want to try to use it without it. Missed your adventure. Glenn's teardrop missed your adventure videos of placed. Yep, day to day. Yeah. Yeah, so day to day. Oh, some people said that they like to see day to day stuff. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I could absolutely incorporate that more into the videos. I try to be a little bit more like tips and tricks when I get to places. But I should do more tips and tricks of what it's like in the car, because I'll admit that's probably been something I've lacked some of, is just being able to give you guys a little more insight to like, yeah, how do I find places? And there's a lot of times I don't use iOverlander. There's a lot of times that I will be driving to a place and I'll just see something out of the corner of my eye or something, and I see something on the side of the road that looks like it's going to be a safe place to sleep. I've done that. I can't even tell you how many times. So there's that. There's times when I've gotten to a place on iOverlander and I'm like, this doesn't look like either a safe place, or I don't think that it's a place that it's going to be really quiet. That's a really big one, right? If you can find a quiet place to sleep. Like I try to avoid Walmarts, Love's travel stops, rest areas, all for that reason, because it's just not going to be a quiet night's sleep. It's safe. Anytime I've had to do a rest stop, anytime I've had to do a truck stop, anytime I've done a Walmart, absolutely 100% safe. It's just been loud. And I mean, who wants to be woken up by blaring music in the car next to you or something like that? Like no one wants to do that. So yeah, so I can show you a little bit more of how I find my places to sleep. Maybe give you, I have been toying with the idea of taking you through just literally from sunrise to sunset, or I guess past sunset, on a daily venture, just kind of like what my day looks like. But I want to do it on a day where I know I have a couple things planned, right? I don't want to do it on a day when I'm just working the whole day because all I do to work is go to a library or go to a place with Wi-Fi to work, and that's just going to be boring video. And I don't want to do it when I'm just doing one activity, like just a hike or something like that. I want to see you. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Glenn's Adventures. Thank you so much. Have a beer or two on me and stay safer. Hope to see you down the road. Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. That's huge. Massive, massive, massive. Did you guys give me donations like that? Thank you so much. It's so helpful. Thank you. But yes, I can definitely incorporate more, like I said, day-to-day stuff. What is the biggest challenge you've ever faced since on the road? Teresa asks a really great question. What's the biggest challenge you faced on the road? Well, I guess that can be multiple things. I've never felt unsafe, if that's where you're kind of steering towards. A lot of people ask me that, obviously. How have you ever been unsafe? I personally have never been in a situation where I don't feel safe. I just haven't. Either I've just been really lucky or just be really scouted out a place to make sure that I am safe. Because that's the advantage of this is like I'm a home on wheels, so I can go anywhere, right? So if I get to a place, whether it's during the day, like I've gone to not grocery stores, but like I've gone to get my car washed, and I'm like, this doesn't look like the best area of town. Or I've gone to a library, or I've gone to I don't know, a place of business. Usually it's a place of business in a town. And then I get there and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not the best thing in the world. I don't feel the best here. So I've left sometimes. It's not often, but I have done that. Laundromats sometimes can be in a little sketch. So that's the beauty about a home on wheels. But the nice thing about all these things is usually those places, like a laundromat or something like that, it's kind of a dime a dozen. Usually you can drive another 5-10 minutes down the street and find another one. So it hasn't been that much of a challenge. I would say some of the other challenges I've faced were more things out of my control. Like, were in my control, but I had to figure them out. Meaning, back when I was actually in the Adirondacks, where Forrest I'm going to butcher his handle name, Hiking Forest. Okay. Me and him met up in the Adirondacks, just outside the Adirondacks, in gorgeous upstate New York, just absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite places in the whole country. And during that time, while I was I was technically in the Catskills because I was around the Woodstock area. I had some issues keeping my battery charged. My Anchor portable power station, I had a problem keeping that charged because it's, I had misplaced some charging cables, and was having to charge it through the car. And I couldn't charge it through like a wall outlet in like a house or building or anything that had a 110. So one of the challenges I faced for a long time was finding that cable in my car, which I eventually did, and B, ordering another one because it took like a month for me to get that cable from the company. I think that's probably the bigger challenge I've ever really faced, is probably just getting things sent to me. It's not that it's a challenge, because I can tell a company to send something to a post office, a FedEx location, a UPS store, sometimes having it sent to a friend's house. Like the last time I was in Tucson, I had things sent to a friend's house, and I picked him up when I went to visit him. So that's not a challenge. The bigger challenge is when that company gets the address wrong. And I'll tell you a good point why I bring that up is currently I have mail being sent to a city that I was just coming from. Coming from Quartzsite, Arizona, and I told the company I thought I was going to be able to pick it up there, and I can't. Now I've left that area, and that company's still sending me mail back in Quartzsite. So I've got to turn around and go back to Quartzsite very soon to get this mail. It's kind of a big hassle. So that's probably the bigger challenges, is trying to coordinate timing with these companies that maybe send me something when they're sending me something to like a wrong address, or I've had companies send me something late, and I thought I showed up in the area. Like, let's say for example, this happened like 3 years ago. I had a company send me something to Phoenix. I got to Phoenix and the package had not arrived, and I had to leave Phoenix, and like 3 days after I left Phoenix, the package arrived. So I had to have that package forwarded to where I was going. So those are kind of the bigger challenges I faced. Um, do you have stickers for your channel? Oh, no, I don't have stickers. When I was in Quartzsite, I actually met up with Tristan from SUV RVing, and he gave me an SUV RVing sticker, and I have no idea where to put this. But no, it did get me thinking, and I've thought about this in the past. I've thought about, I don't know that I would do stickers. Stickers are cool. I like stickers, but I think I would do something a little bit more unique. And there's an idea I've been playing with, but I have to cart it around. And inventory is not really, not really something I can just carry around with me somewhere. So no, I don't have anything like that. And the second question was, do you have a channel store? Not really. No, I don't have a channel store. I don't have a thing where you can go buy merchandise. Again, it's an inventory thing. I've toyed with the idea of like making t-shirts or something like that in the past to say I'm escaping normal life or something along those nature. But that's just something I do not have a place to keep a bunch of t-shirts in the car and then ship them out to people when they order them. So I was like, well, maybe I could have someone from Florida ship them, but then I have to like keep, 4 or 5 boxes of t-shirts somewhere, and no one's going to want to keep that shit in their house. Sorry. Just keep that stuff in their house, or keep it in a storage unit and have someone like my brother and go back to my storage unit and constantly get a t-shirt just so he can send it out for somebody. So I don't really have a channel store. I do have an Amazon store and link, and I can put it in the live notes at the end of this. And it's strictly a link to all the products that I use on a daily basis. And while I do make some sort of little affiliate commission off of that, which is literally like 10% off of something, the cost is exactly the same to you. So at Anchor Portable Power Station, for example, if you happen to buy it through my affiliate link, I would get a couple dollars, but the cost would be exactly the same to you. So I can definitely put that down there if you like. And I have it broken into sections on my Amazon storefront. Car items, camping items, hiking items, apparel. I want to say I have another category on there. So hopefully it's easy to find things. Hi from Sierra Nevada, Sierra Vista, Arizona. Oh, I'm not familiar with Sierra Vista. Sierra Vista. Wow, I keep butchering that. I want to keep putting Sierra Nevada, mostly because they have good beer, and I've been in Sierra Nevada mountains. So Sierra Vista, I'm not sure what that is. An hour southeast of Tucson. Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Do you have back pain from all the driving and sitting? You know what? I do not. Greg asked a great question. Do you have back pain from all the driving and sitting, being in your car? I personally don't. And I guess I've always been pretty fortunate that way. I have a friend that if she does more than like 4 hours in a car, her back just starts killing her. I don't. I actually love drive days. I've gotten to the point where I don't like to do anything more than like a 4-hour drive day is kind of a long day for me. I don't try to do that anything more than that anymore. But I really love drive days. And I gotta tell you, it's because I get to see so much more. And I love seeing the geography change in front of me. I love seeing desert turn into mountains, turn into forest, turn into snow-capped mountains. I've been driving where I was in a t-shirt, and then I drove, a couple thousand feet up in elevation, literally got hit with a little small, I'm not gonna say snowstorm, but there was like a small snow drift coming through, and the top of the overpass I had to go through, and I'm like turning on my heat in my car and everything, and then I get down the bottom, rolling back my windows and everything, right? I've had that happen, and I love it. I think it's so, so cool. I don't know. I just love seeing geography. I love seeing the land around me. I mean, I've got beautiful mountains off in the distance here, and I just love it. Most YouTubers use a third-party shipping company that prints and ships. Oh, that's good to know. I can look into it. Yeah, I can look into it. I don't want to price gouge anybody. If a t-shirt normally goes for 20 bucks, I don't know if going through a third party thing would then make that t-shirt 30 or 40 bucks. I don't know, but it's something to think about. Thank you. I didn't know that, that you can do a third party shipping and printing company. Perfect. Thanks, Teresa. She said she likes my Amazon store site. Yeah. So I think that's all the questions right now that I have, but like I said, I did have a question for you guys. And is it, what more kind of content would you like to see? One person, as I mentioned that they would like to see more day-to-day stuff. Anything else from you guys? What else would you like to see from me on content-wise going forward? And while anyone's typing, I'm gonna just go back into the comments real quick, see if I missed anything. I don't think so. Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit more in future videos about kind of my day-to-day stuff. Challenges is a good one. I can touch a little bit on that in future content. Again, I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had a lot of challenges, quote unquote. I think I just always get super interested on how nomad lifers maintain jobs. Oh, that's a good question. Somebody asked, how does a nomad person just maintain jobs? That's a really good one that I guess I've covered a little bit, but I could definitely cover better, probably. That's okay. Someone asked earlier, what's my biggest challenge? One of my biggest challenges is probably finding good, reliable internet and a place that I can work that's got hours that work well for me. Meaning, when I was in Courtside, for example, last week, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that town is so small. The library is only open Monday through Thursday. And libraries are a really great source to work because they have a desk, but they also have Wi-Fi. It was not very good Wi-Fi there. It would have taken me hours to upload a video on there. I had to drive 45 minutes north to get to a better internet connection that day to post a video. And they were closed Friday through Sunday. And I had projects for my regular job and for my Fiverr, my freelance stuff. So not the easiest to work from when a place is closed and a place has just bad internet. So that's a challenge as well. I've driven around literally for an hour before, going to 3 or 4 different places that said they had internet, like libraries, coffee shops, restaurants, and either the internet was just terrible or they were closed. I've been to a library that didn't even exist anymore. On maps it says it existed, but when I got there, there was no building, and I asked a local and I said, what happened to the library? It says it's here on maps, and they said, oh, it got washed away in the last hurricane. That was when I was in Florida still, obviously, and so that happens. I'm gonna go back. I saw something about. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you for that super thanks. How Nomad filters jobs. So yeah, I talked a little bit about jobs. How long do you plan on living in your Forester? Yeah. Someone asked, how long do I plan on living in my Forester? I guess as long as I have to. I don't see myself quitting full-time travel anytime soon. It's really, there's so many daily challenges, but for some reason I feel so comfortable with them. It's a weird balance thing, and that's the Libra in me. I'm a Libra, and I balance everything. Like, I take the good with the bad. So I say that because the Forester is very much a challenge, but the Forester is paid off, and I do not have the money right now to take on car payments for a van or a truck or anything that's bigger. So to answer your question is, how long do I plan to live in the Forester? Kind of until I have to, because as long as I can, rather. Because one day I hope to be able to make enough money that I can upgrade this thing, trade it in, sell it, whatever, and get something bigger. But then again, that could happen 4 or 5 years from now. And 4 or 5 years from now, I may want to stop living in a car. So I don't know. And I'd asked about securing. Oh yes, someone asked about securing the stuff on the outside of the car. That might be better to show in a video, but the stuff in the car is all ratcheted, strapped down. Yeah, it's just from like stuff from pivoting. I use ropes, bungee cords on my battery. My anchor battery is ratchet strapped down. My fridge is also ratchet strapped down. It's actually wrapped around my seats. I remember Darla was asking me earlier before we got on the live stream how I keep things kind of shifting in the car. So my fridge is actually tied with the ratchet straps around the back seat, which is folding down. So the back seat, take the back seat, fold it down, and then around the bottom of the seat, which is laying flat, around the top of the fridge, I just wrap it down. And the fridge is so heavy that it doesn't really move anyways. It's mostly there to stop in case because the fridge is literally right behind my head, behind my front seat. And if I was ever getting into an accident where I have to slam on my brakes and actually end up hitting a car, the force would obviously make that fridge and everything else that's heavy and big, like my battery right behind me, move forward. So I did all that so that if it does move forward, it'll move forward and probably go a couple inches, but hopefully it won't slam on the back of my head. That was huge when I did my build out. I don't know if you'd call this a build out, but when I was laying everything out for the car, I was really concentrating on safety, making sure things would not shift and hit me. If I ever in an accident so bad where the car flips, like these are grim things, but you want to think about them because in a regular situation, if you're in a car and it flips, your car is designed to protect you if it flips. It's not designed to keep, I don't know, that fridge is probably 200 pounds or whatever. I don't know. Probably not that heavy, but 150 pounds or whatever, 150-pound fridge from rolling around and hitting you in the back of the head and getting loose in the car. So it's ratchet strapped down, I think, that enough that it would hopefully not, it would move a little bit, but it shouldn't move and hit me in the head. Thank you, MF Terrastring. Thank you so much. Said that I have a great channel. Thank you. I think it could be better, but I'm always looking to strive to be better. That's just me. So, but thank you very much. It's huge to hear that. Someone asked about Starlink. Yeah. Here's the things I know about Starlink. I'll admit I have not done a ton of research on Starlink, and I know that it's a great solution for a lot of people. The downside that I'm told about Starlink is I've been told it's a massive power hog. Even the mini versions, which apparently are better than the regular versions. I haven't done any research. Like I said, this is just me just hearing things and watching other content creators who have a Starlink who mention it at some point in their video. They're like, oh, my Starlink is killing my battery, so I'm not using it. I tend to do my own research on things, so I haven't done my research yet. But from what I know about Starlink is it's supposed to be a big power hog. And I've been told by multiple people multiple YouTubers I follow who post content. Some of them say, they post content with Starlink. They say that Starlink sometimes takes them like 2 days to post a video, that it's not always the fastest thing. And I know that has a lot to do with tree cover stuff because Starlink is just satellite and it needs line of sight to satellite. I understand that. So it needs open, clear skies. But a lot of them said they're like, no, I'm in open, clear sky and it's still not getting very good. So I don't know if that also has to do with things like mountains, just placement of how you're placing, the Starlink antenna, if it's this way and the satellite's this way or something. I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but I've just been told that it's power hog. It's not always the most reliable thing, that it works. It always, from what I understand, it pretty much always works, but it doesn't always get you really, really great internet. And then probably the biggest thing is even the smallest version, the mini version, is so big from what I've seen that I just don't have a place to put it right now. This car is maxed out, like so maxed out. Like every time I get something, I'm like, where am I going to put that? Like just getting an extra t-shirt or something. I'm not even joking. It's just like, where am I going to put that t-shirt? There's just no room in this car. So I don't know where I would put something like that. And I think I would need a better power setup. But also, I think it's pretty expensive. I think Starlink is about $150 a month. And that's just really not in my budget right now. So for right now, I think finding public Wi-Fi, while it's kind of a hassle sometimes, I would say arguably 90% of the time it's not so much a hassle. 90% of the time I can get to a library, which are usually pretty accessible, multiple libraries in a town, usually. And aside from a couple of them, most of them have had decent enough internet that I can work with it. It might take me an hour and a half to post something that normally would take me, 15 minutes or something on great internet. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I can work with it. So right now I had to kind of rely on public internet. Starlink Mini. I'll check into Starlink Mini. I really will. It could be a lot better than what I know. I just don't think I'm going to have I know the upfront cost is kind of expensive. I know that the hardware is like $500 and I think the monthly expense is like $150. So it's just not really my budget right now, but I will look into it a little bit. It's not about price grouping. It's about getting your channel out there. If you make a couple bucks on something, great, but getting your name out there. Yeah, that's a good point. Glenn make a good point about just having a company make like t-shirts or printing or something like that, shipping for you. Yeah. It's not about making a buck. It's more about it's branding, right? This is 100% branding. Absolutely. I 100% and I 1000% look at YouTube personally as a business. And maybe that's not the best approach, but it is something that I look at as a business because I want this to be able to be seen by more people. So I'm always thinking, how can I collaborate, network? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it seen? What can I do to help someone? So in that sense, that's why I call it a business. But the most successful YouTubers, they 100% looked at it as a business as well. So, success for me would just mean offset my daily cost or offset my monthly cost, which is, like I said earlier, $1,500 a month. If I could do that, that right there, I'd be, oh my God, the stars. Like, to me, that would just be the dream, to be able to offset my costs just through YouTube. But yeah, so it's branding. Yeah, 100%. You're right. Starlink costs. Do you ever get to talk to Bob Wells? Okay, great question. Someone asked, did I ever get to talk to Bob Wells and see his Forester? No, I didn't. That's the short answer. There was a line to see Bob Wells, and I do mean a line. When I was in Quartzsite, my video from Quartzsite's gone up yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to see it, please take a look if you can. And you'll see Bob Wells there on video, but I got about 3 seconds of him on video. And that's because I could have stood in line to see him, but there literally was a line to see him. I always filmed a lot more than what makes it into the video, and I usually kind of cutting so much stuff out because I don't want to video a 45, 60-minute video. I think no one would want to watch that. And usually it doesn't add anything to the storyline. I'm always thinking about the storyline. I'm always thinking audience engagement. I'm always thinking what's going to be exciting for you guys. And I filmed a small section, not long, but a very small section where I talked a little bit about the line to see Bob Wells. But in the end, just having me say on camera, there's a very long line here to see Bob Wells, I think I got the message across. So I didn't really use the video that I shot. But there was a very long line, so I didn't get to see him. I know that he recently moved into a Forester. So here's a little backstory that didn't make it again into the final video because it didn't look like it was going to happen, but it may happen. When I was in Quartzsite at the RTR, the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, there was every day they had a place where you could show your vehicle off to people. And one day it was all vans, the next day was all minivans, and the third day was all trailers, and like the fourth day was cars and SUVs. So I decided to put my car on as what they call an open house. So I opened up all the doors to the car, rolled down the windows, propped up in the trunk, and sat there and just answered questions about people who saw my little setup, and people had questions about everything in the car. So I did that, and while I was doing that, I got a card from someone at Cheap RV Living, because Cheap RV Living is not just Bob Wells, it's a whole team. I can tell you that right now. It's a whole team from Cheap RV Living on YouTube. And a woman came up to me and says, would you like to do a YouTube video where you show us your car? We would love to have you. Here's a card. Email us about setting up an interview. And I promptly did. That was a week and a half ago. That was like the 10th. So today is the 20, I don't even know what today is. Yeah, today's the 26th. So 2 weeks ago, let's say, I gave him the card, and I finally heard back from him today, and I am not in Quartzsite. So they asked me today, they're like, would you be available Wednesday, I think next Wednesday, yeah, this coming Wednesday, today's Sunday, to talk to Bob Wells himself and to do a video about your Forester. And I said, unfortunately, I'm not available now because I'm not in the area, but I plan on going back to the area because I have to get mail. I was talking about it earlier. I have to drive back to Quartzsite, possibly get mail. So there is a possibility, I say all that because there is a possibility that I will meet Bob Wells, maybe, hopefully. We'll see what they say in the email. Sometime in February, I'm trying to line something up in the middle of February to do a video content where they tour the Forester and maybe get to meet him. But they did tell me up front, they're like, there's no promise you'll get to meet Bob. You may be doing the interview with somebody else from the team, which is fine, as long as people get information out of just how a Forester is set up for full-time living. Then that's all I was like interested in. But meeting Bob would also be kind of cherry on the cake. Hello from Florida. How are you? I am also from Florida. Name a car for an edit. Not sure what that means. Sorry, Despod, you have to. It just says name a car for an edit, and I'm afraid I'm not sure what you quite mean by that. So let me know what you mean by that and I will answer it. How long video about your year travel in your teardrop is what inspired? Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun video, and that was to put together. Glenn mentioned Glenn's Teardrop Adventures, said they got inspired by my full year video living in the teardrop. That was a cool one to put together because it really did make me go down memory lane a little bit about each place that I went to. And I was really honest at the very end of that video. I said something along the lines of editing this video made me remember things that I didn't even capture on film. And that's true. There were so many moments I didn't capture on film that I was just a moment for me that I just didn't want to have my viewfinder, my camera out in front of my face. I put it down, put it in my pocket so I could experience something. And those are some of the best moments for me, honestly. Not that I don't like sharing things. I love sharing things, but at the same time, you got to take a moment for yourself. Oh, someone says the audio and video is out. Oh, shoot. Okay. But also someone says it's completely fine. Let me... All right, I'm going to try to jump on Wi-Fi. It may pause. I just think the Wi-Fi is a little weak. So we'll see. Hopefully that does not... Let me know if... Just jumped on Wi-Fi. I'm getting Wi-Fi, but it's not the strongest. I think the cell network's a little strong, but let me know if anybody, it's not that bad for me. Okay. Some people are saying it's not that bad. I would drive back would be huge for your channel. Yeah, I think that's some of the getting kind of caught up. I think the audio video goes out a little if there's a noise around you. Oh, okay. So obviously I'm sitting in the car, and I have my window down, and it's just, it's pretty quiet street. So occasionally there's a car or something that goes by. But hopefully it's not that bad. I plugged in the mic. I just got this thing. I wanted a better microphone because I was so tired of having bad audio on my videos. I know how bad it was. I'm so sorry for having bad audio in some of my past videos because I was mostly just using the onboard microphone of the phone. That's what I record on, is my phone. And, cell phone cameras are fine. They shoot great video and great pictures, but there's a couple areas where they lack. They do not do distance at all. So if you're trying to take a picture of a mountain far away, something like that, just don't even try. It's going to come out grainy and terrible. And audio is pretty bad on cell phones. They're good for what they are, but they are not great. So you definitely want to get a better microphone if you're trying to up your game on digital content. So I had a little lavalier, like a $20 lavalier mic that would clip to my collar here, but it was worse. It was worse. It would pick up wind so bad that I thought it was worse than the onboard microphone on my phone. So I ended up breaking down and getting myself a wireless mic. I've been wanting a wireless mic for a long time, so that's what I'm recording on. And if this is worse than the onboard microphone because for whatever reason, then I'll not use it on live recordings like this. So Timmy Kramer, for God's sakes, young man, don't get married. I feel like that's a line from a movie. Someone just says it clips out for a second occasionally. That's annoying. Sorry about that. Next time I'll do a live, maybe I'll try it without the microphone. The YouTubers like yourself, Tristan. I got to meet Tristan at SUVRV. Catherine Gregor, I'm not sure who that is, and many others who inspired me to outfit my Subaru. Oh, perfect. Outback for car camping. Kudos to you. Oh, cool. Well, you're welcome, Brian. Awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from watching people like Tristan and just a bunch of other channels out there that car camp a lot. Doesn't have to necessarily be a forester, but obviously I gravitated towards forester stuff because I was curious how do they make something happen in their space, given that I knew that I was going to have the exact same space, right? So, yeah, awesome. Yeah, Tristan's great. I did also get to meet Christine from Nomad Unknown. She also lives in a Subaru Forester. She's in my RTR video. Ever seen Bigfoot? I have a t-shirt. with a picture of Bigfoot and it says, "I believe in Daryl." And I think the running joke is that if Bigfoot exists, that his parents wouldn't call him Bigfoot, right? He just he just have like a normal name. So I have a T-shirt that says "I believe in Daryl," which is kind of funny. There's also a Progressive commercial that has that. Greg, hi Eric, love your channel. I've just noticed you are live at this half time in the football. Oh no, did I schedule this right in the middle of, well, that goes to show you how much of a person I follow football is. Sorry about that. I did not even think about that. Do you miss things like watching football, music, live event? Well, I think I just answered your first part of your question, which is, do you miss things like watching football? I don't follow sports. Sorry. I have no problem with watching it. You know what? If I'm going to follow sports at all, going to a game is fun. I've been to a couple NFL games when I lived in Tampa. I went to Tampa Bay before they got Brady. When I was a kid, I'm from Miami originally. As a kid, we went to a Dolphins game. I must have been about 8 or something like that. That was pretty cool. And I went to a couple Jags games. I think that's the only NFL games I've ever been to, and they are fun. And I've been to other like hockey. I went to a Bolts game. That was really cool, actually. Still don't know all the rules around hockey, but the Lightning, Tampa Bay Lightning, is the team. And it was so cool. They had these Tesla coils hanging from the ceiling, and whenever they scored or came onto the ice for the very first time, the house lights would dim and these Tesla coils would go off, and you'd see these bolts of electricity shooting everywhere. It was so cool. So live events, live sporting events, fun. Don't watch that many. So I can't answer your question about that. Music events, you know what? I have the ability to be anywhere I want at any time I want. So if there's a music event, like I'm only a few hours from Vegas. If I wanted to, I could drive to a place and go see a music event. So it's really not that much of a problem. And there's so many towns that if I wanted to go out for nightlife or something like that, that I could go see live music. Live music is not something that I ever really graduated because it's usually so loud, and I'd like to be able to sit there and talk to people. So I don't miss that as much. I think what I probably miss more than anything is probably just being able to just converse on a regular basis with other people, just in small groups. Large groups, not my thing, but I like small groups. And chance dropping a pin on cool places to camp. Oh, yeah. Not asking the other speakers to us. Yes, dropping pins. Well, technically I do that a lot. Glenn asked me if I ever consider dropping pins on places I camp. I do that all the time in iOverlander. That's the app I was referring to earlier. And that's a topic that I can certainly discuss sometime if you like. I think it's pretty self-explanatory app, but iOverlander is a free app. I download it to my phone and I use it nightly to find places to sleep. And anytime I find a place to sleep that's not on the map, I put a pin on that so that other people can use it. And while there is a ton of resources out there to find places to sleep, some people use Google Maps, some people use freecampsites.net, and there's a bunch of other resources. From talking to others, iOverlander is used the most, from what I gather. So, putting an eye on iOverlander, I think, helps out the most amount of people. Go Bolts, yes. Any chance dropping a pin? I grew up in Coral Springs. Oh, cool. Yeah. Gosh, I haven't been to Coral Springs since I was a kid. You always come across as a happy soul. Your videos cheer me up and no doubt do so for many. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, I try to be happy. I don't know why anybody goes. Whenever I see someone, you know what's funny is I worked retail for 16 years. I've worked in an Apple store. And trust me, I totally get it when someone's mad because their technology fails. I do it daily. And Apple products are not the god-all. They're good products. I worked for them for a long time, but they're not perfect. It's technology. It's made by human beings. It fails sometimes. And I want to throw my computer through the window pretty much every day I edit because it struggles sometimes at editing because I use Final Cut Pro and maybe I'm just doing more than that computer's built for. I don't know. I say all that again because I understand what it's like to be mad at something. So people would come in the store all the time and get mad that their phone's not working, their computer's not working, or whatever. But I think some of those people were just mad all the time. It wasn't having their phone broken or not working or something like that. You know, I just think a lot of those people were mad all the time. Like, it just didn't seem like they were happy anytime. It wasn't that they were just having a bad moment. They were just having a bad life. And I don't know what put them there. I try to not be that way. I try to be positive thinking, give you a smile. I think one of the best things I ever heard one time working in an Apple store, and this just, I heard it twice actually, and it just resonated with me and stuck with me, and that made me feel better that I was doing this already. And that's one time I answered the phone. Someone just called the store, and I answered the phone, and I just started talking to the person, but I immediately smiled. I was smiling on my end. Like, I generally was just happy. And I said, hey, thanks for calling Apple or whatever. My name's Eric. And the person on the other end just paused for a second and just says, wow, you're smiling, and I can tell. That's really appreciative. Thank you. So just having a smiling face on the other end of a phone call, I think is huge. And I remember one time, we used to do these daily morning meetings every day before the store opened, just to kind of talk about things going on as a store, as a company, and as a group, as a store. And we were all walking out, and we had customers already in the store, and we were walking out from our meeting. And I remember a customer saying, all of you guys are smiling. That's really encouraging to see all of you guys smiling at your jobs. So, yeah, why be mad all the time? Don't get me wrong, I get mad plenty of times. I just try not to show it too much on camera, but I don't see the need in being mad all the time. Worked retail for longer. Oh, and bookstores. Oh, yeah. It's quite the gig. Yeah, people are both nice and nuts. Yeah, yes, they are. No wonder you want to escape normal life for doing yes. Greg says, no wonder you want to escape normal life. You know what? We got about 5 minutes. I unfortunately have some other things I have to do today, so I apologize. I have to wrap up in about 5 minutes. I have some errands I need to run before it gets dark. But Greg hit the nail on the head there by saying, no wonder you want to escape normal life for working retail 15 years. That's actually where the channel name came from. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Timmy. I will. Definitely. I'll let you know if I'm ever around Phoenix. That's actually where the name comes from, Escaping Normal Life. It was a direct reflection of what was going on in my life. I've probably told the story 100 million times, and people are probably tired of hearing it. But if you're not familiar, the short, condensed version is that I was sick of working a job that basically kept me on a rat wheel. I just would wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, go home, go to sleep. Wake up, go to work, go home, go to sleep. It was nonstop all the time. I was 1000% living to work. I was not working to live. And I was burnt out, and I wanted to escape. And the channel name originally was just going to be I think it was just going to be Escaping Normal. I think that was the original name. And I really was stuck on that name, had created the YouTube channel and everything. It's not until I went over to Instagram, because I wanted to create Instagram just as a kind of a jumping off point to try to send people to my YouTube channel. And I went to Instagram and I created the handle Escaping Normal, and they're like, that's already taken. And I was kind of like, damn, I really wanted that name. Like, it just, Escaping Normal, because the normal part, the escape part was me getting out of my job. The normal part was feeling like I was doing what everybody was kind of expecting me to do, which is live in a city, go to a normal job, quote unquote, just kind of do the normal, what I put in quotes, normal thing every day, which is, live in a city, go to work, know your surroundings, all that stuff. And I wanted to get away from that. I used to watch van lifers all the time and just go like, man, I want to get away from all this and just do what they do. So the Escaping Normal is how it started. But then Instagram said that you can't have that. And they gave me some other options, and Escaping Normal Life popped up. And at first I didn't like it. I was like, that's just so long. But then adding that life at the very end really makes those three words come together personally. It just resonated a little bit more for me, and it made it feel like what I'm doing, but also as a channel mantra, all tied in super well. Escaping the normal life, I guess. I should have maybe put Escaping the Normal Life. I don't have a Patreon, and I've actually done some research recently on creating one, as well as YouTube memberships and how those two work. And yeah, I've considered a lot about it. And I think it's a great way to make a couple extra dollars, but I think if I'm going to do it, I want to go all in and make it where I'm giving you something extra, creating content it's extra for that. And I just don't know what I would do for that. I've kind of racked my brain about that. If I made enough money on YouTube, I could concentrate strictly on YouTube, then I probably would, because then I could do extra content on the side just for Patreon or YouTube memberships, where I would show you more of like places I camped, or maybe just the secret life of, I don't know, something a little bit more behind the scenes, I guess, then I would do that. But because I stay pretty busy with YouTube channel, the content with making the content I remake, and my normal job, which I just started working freelance, or started doing not freelance, but working for a regular company on a weekly basis, and still doing my freelance video editing for clients. I just did 2 projects this weekend for some clients on my Fiverr end. That all keeps me so busy. Video editing is super, super, super time consuming. So I'll consider it in the future. It's a really great advice, and I will definitely consider doing Patreon and YouTube memberships in the future. All right, I got a couple more minutes, so I'm going to try to go through any of these questions. Followed your channel for over a year. Awesome. I get where you're coming from. Haven't worked for 9 years. Oh my gosh. So jealous, Greg. Wow. You are definitely escaping my life. I want to know, I want your life. Adding life gave it life. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. You got to get one. I know. Good evening, Patreon meetups or donation link. Yeah. So I do have, you can always do a super thanks. But to be really honest with you, super thanks, and I didn't know this until starting a YouTube channel. I didn't even know what super thanks were until I started a YouTube channel. YouTube gets a cut of that money. You may not know that, and that's fine. They're giving me the platform to do this. But I should start putting, someone mentioned I should start putting my Venmo on the screen. So if you want to donate that way, that's an option. Yeah, I could start putting my Venmo on there, because super thanks are great. Thank you. Like, it's super helpful, and obviously I get a majority of that, but YouTube does take a cut of that. So Venmo would be a donation link that if you wanted to, you could donate all the way to me. All right, I got, it's 3 o'clock now. I do have some other errands. I am so sorry. But this was fun. I hope you get some value out of this. Pleasant personality, like greetings. Oh, perfect. Oh, from Ireland. Oh, that's cool. All right, thank you. Yeah. D. Cebu Erie. All right, I'm butchering that. I'm going to call you D. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. I try to be pleasant. Yes, Venmo. All right, I'll definitely put my Venmo in my links going forward on my video links. But this is super fun. I hope you guys get something out of it. I'm gonna try to do this more on the regular. I think that I've got some great questions. It's ones that I don't know. First off, I don't get some of these questions at all in my comment section, and I like that I'm getting these. I think it allows people to think a little more freely on the spot. Because I know for me, there's YouTubers I follow that I think all the time, like when I'm like driving or something like that, and random things just pop in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I should ask that big time YouTuber how they like Starlink, for example. And then, I get home and I have an opportunity to go online and ask that question, and I don't, because I've forgotten. So maybe in these moments, by talking these things out, questions arise and you're able to answer them, or I'm sorry, you're able to ask them, and hopefully I'm able to answer them. So I hope you get something out of this. Thank you. Yes, love the channel. Stay thanks. Okay, bye guys. Thank you for everything, especially the super thanks I got. I want to make sure I call them out. Teresa and Glenn. Yes, thank you so much. Huge. Again, so helpful. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do this more on the regular. And Sundays is probably looking like the day that I'll do it, but I'll definitely try to get posts up a couple days in advance if that changes. But Sundays, it's just kind of a good day, because I try to keep my Sunday open where I don't work as much. It's not always true. Like sometimes I do have to work, but Sundays are just a little easier. So. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Looking forward to watching your videos. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Thanks so much, D. I do have to cut loose, though. And thanks for escaping normal life with me, guys. I'll talk to you real soon.